to move on then to the screening phone call. So the first step then, once you get the contact information back, and you've got it into kind of a tracking spreadsheet that's helping you track your efforts, is that you're going to contact women by phone. And also then in the handout is the phone screen. And there's a script here, and so the screener to look at, you should circle, I don't know, maybe we'll put some check boxes on here or something. But I would actually fill out this form for a woman. And then again, the right-hand column is just to help you know, is she eligible? Do I keep continuing along the path, or do I skip to the end? And let the phone call go. Now, question number 10, we'll talk about race a little bit. Half of the women in this protocol only are, well, we're going to recruit or enroll, half the women are going to be African American. So once you've filled kind of your quota of, if you have half of your women are non-African American, they're white or they're of other races, at that point you need to stop enrolling white women and you need to start concentrating on African American women. So question number 10 isn't as meaningful at the beginning, but certainly as you go along, if there's certain group, or maybe you've gotten all of your African American women and now you need to go on to the white women. I mean, it can work either way. So you're going to need that. You need to use that question as you go along to help you make sure that you're filling both groups. So,
a quick question about that. It says after 95 are white women. Does that mean we don't recruit any Asian and Hispanic women also? Or you just don't recruit any more white women?
The total is 200 women that we're going to enroll across all the sites. Of those, 190 of them need to be, 95 of them need to be white, 95 will be African American. So then there's another 10 that will be, the numbers are a little wishy, but there's another 10 that could be from other races. So if you're enrolling Asians, that's fine. If you're, it's mostly an issue once you don't want to find that you have, you've enrolled all white women, and then you're going, well, we don't have any room left to enroll the African Americans. We need to fill the African American cell and the white cell. So if you've got a lot of Asians, or you've got a lot of one group, or you have a lot of white women, you need to turn your attention and focus to filling that other group. And it's really a cross study. I don't know, you might be able to answer this question better than I can, Garnet. It's really a cross study. Every single site doesn't have to adhere to the exact number, but when it's overall, we need 95 white women, 95 African Americans, and then there can be women from other races that fill.
So there's no quota for Asian?
No, there's
That's
no
right. So this is a little bit awkward piece of it. Asians typically don't have the kind of hot flashes that get them into these studies. We don't understand why they're blessed that way, but they are. So we're just not expecting that they are going to be rolling into this place. If, however, they're eligible, we'd like you to go ahead and enroll them. The reason that we have specific quota for whites and blacks is the secondary hypothesis to compare the blacks and whites requires an adequate sample size there. So we're kind of letting the other races kind of just go in their natural flow to a certain level until we have enough whites, and then we go close to everyone except blacks.
We would anticipate that the black women may be harder to enroll or to reach, so you're probably going to really fill your cells mostly with white women at the beginning. That might not be true. It will vary, and you might find that you enroll more African Americans in the beginning, but as she said, we need to enroll equal numbers. And looking at the population, I know it varies across areas, but there is a lower number of Asian women out there. There's also a lower number of having hot flashes. So, we don't anticipate this is going to be a big problem. We're going to have dozens of Asians that want to join the study. So it's more that we want to make sure that we have adequate of the white and African American.
Julie, I have a question too along the same lines. Is the same true for Hispanic women?
Hispanic women is actually an ethnicity, and that's a separate question. And so you could be Hispanic.
Well, it says race or ethnicity, and it doesn't have to. It doesn't. Hispanic is missing, isn't it?
Well, there's question number.
Oh, I see.
There's question number 9. Yeah. Question number 9 is kind of it's kind of a throwaway question in a way. It has no bearing on their eligibility. It's just that if you don't ask that question, then you ask question number 10, some women will want to say, well, I'm Hispanic. And really, the way it's coded is if you're Hispanic, white, you're Hispanic,
Right,
black.
right.
Yeah.
That's
So
why I
go
was
ahead and ask
confused
that.
because,
Right, so we go ahead and ask that question, are you Hispanic, yes, no, and so then we ask what their race, what their race is.
Yeah.
I tend to take off the word ethnicity.
thank you.
That's your education. Yeah, we used to have actually the Spanish Hispanic down in there, so that they could do that, but then without.
That's what caught my eye.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's the typo, that, we'll look that up. So then so the activities at this point are you're going to contact women by phone. You might need to make several attempts just because you have her phone number. It could take a lot of attempts to reach her. You should make as many as it takes, within reason. You don't have to call her 50 times, but I would call her, leave a few messages, call her at different times of the day. Try evenings, daytime, weekends. If you're working weekends, to make several attempts to get her, because you know that she's interested. She's returned the card or she's called or whatever, so you know she's interested, so, to try to get her on the phone. Complete the screener on the phone, and then you need to obtain verbal consent for the next phase of screening in order to mail her out the materials. And then again, as I mentioned, the phone screen is not yet entered, but you're going to have some kind of system to track your efforts with that. So once you've gone through the phone screen and you've determined that a woman is eligible, then you're going to mail her out some materials that further assess her eligibility. And the mail materials include a cover letter with the instructions and the study info, and that is also a handout. It says model cover letter for screening packet. This is kind of like it has consent implications in here, so this is just a model. You can modify this to meet your own study, IRB requirements, or just fill it in with your own study information. But basically, you're letting her know this is what's expected, this is what's required at this phase, and it has elements of consent in it. So you want to include most of this information in this cover letter. And so you're going to send this to her along with the hot flash diary. And that's also a handout, Form 105. You're actually going to include 2 weeks' worth because she's going to be recording her hot flashes for 2 weeks during this kind of pre-screening phase. And then also you're going to include the Form 101, which is the pre-visit 1 questionnaire. I didn't include the whole questionnaire here because it's pretty long, but if you want to go look on the wiki, it's there, or if you're interested, I can get a copy for you today if you want to see the whole thing. But basically, this questionnaire is a 7-page questionnaire, and it has many of those inclusion-exclusion items that I showed you earlier. So, for example, question number 2 asks them if they're pregnant. Question number 1, their age. Question number 3 starts getting at what stage they're in for menopause. So you can mail those things out, include a business reply envelope, obviously, so she can mail them back. And so you're going to mail them out, and then she's going to mail them back. This information is not collected by phone. It just all gets done by mail. And again, there's some estimates on how many you may do. We're saying about 15 a week, which is approximately 60% of those that you screen by phone. This is another number that may need to be adjusted if you if you find that you screen them by phone and only 20% end up being eligible, and obviously you're going to have to up your numbers. You're going to have to up, be monitoring every step of the way. And again, if you find that you're weeding a lot of women out during the phone screen, you're going to have to up the number of brochure mailings and the phone screens that you're doing, because you just need to keep adjusting at every phase to make sure that you got to kind of have this one in the pipeline. Think of it. You need to make sure coming out of the other end that you're going to have enough. So. On the other hand, when you do the phone screen, you might find that 80% of them are eligible. In that case, you can adjust accordingly that way.